Well, hello, fellow worm enthusiasts. This is Larry with Wiley Worm Farms. Welcome to my next video. Oh, by the way, I want to point this out right here. Northern Bulldog fan. Well, we're ready to unpack a new load of worms. So we're going to the worm bin here. We're going to get started breaking up our potting soil here a little bit. We got a whole bunch of potting soil that my son had in his backyard. He's had for a few years now, but we're gonna spread this out a little bit. I just took my shovel out back there and got that down, and then we're also going to put. I'm making a mess here. Going to put some paper that I've shredded to put in here for my bedding, and then after I'm gonna check on my moisture, make sure my moisture's right because it's been raining outside and that potting soil is already wet. And we'll break this egg carton apart. I understand they really like egg carton. I don't know why, but I don't know why locally, but when we buy groceries, I don't see egg cartons like this here at our grocery store. But I got these worms that I'm about to put in here from Mimi's Worms. And she sent them this little piece of egg carton, so I'm going to make my worms happy with it. Saw a lot of other videos that had egg cartons in it, and they seem to go really well. For some reason, they like this. We'll have to put some moisture to it, I think. And we'll do that after the video. All right, I'm also going to add, and I found this to be pretty good. This is simply coffee grounds that I got on my coffee pot. Also got a few grounds that I actually had in the K-Cup. I got those out this morning. I'm going to get this out as well as I can, and then I'm going to mix it back in with my other paper in here. So this is some brand new worms. I've got somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 from Mimi's. I got a pound of worms, and she tells me that's about 1,000 to 1,200 worms. In my other bin, I've got about 1,000, 1,200 worms. And I actually started back January the 17th. I started with 150 worms. And then March the 8th, I went and bought another 150 worms. I've also discovered that worms love these coffee grounds. I don't know what it is about coffee grounds so much they love, but I'm going to kind of leave that there, and then, here's my worms, folks, from Mimi Worm Farms in Valdosta, Georgia. It's really strange to me because I was watching a video here several days ago now, and it was Captain Matt. Captain Matt was traveling around different places, different locations, doing videos. And one of the places that he did videos was Mimi's Worms. And as I was watching that video, I discovered that Mimi's Worms is in Valdosta, Georgia. And Valdosta, Georgia is only about 45 minutes from me. So Mimi is practically a neighbor. Back when I grew up on the farm, everybody within 5 miles was a neighbor, but 45 miles from one. Well, we're going to look in here, we're going to dig in here, we're going to look at the worms we got from Mimi. I see a worm ball right here. Well, I've got my worms in there now, and I want to show you a little bit of what I feed my worms. Right over here, I've got quarter slices of cantaloupe. I went over to neighbors a few days ago, and I told him, I said, look, I didn't think I'd ever need to do this, but here I'm over at my neighbor begging for table scraps, and he laughed at that. And he said, I tell you what, he said, I got a cantaloupe. Nobody in my family eats cantaloupe, so he gave it to me. So I'm going to feed this quarter to get my worm bin started here. Put that in there in a minute. But first, let me show you what I use to feed my worms with. We got some cornmeal. And this is my worm chow. I've got it all mixed up in here. I've got cornmeal. And we have got oats. And flour. All-purpose flour. Well, I say all-purpose flour. We'll make sure it's not self-rising. Make sure, folks, you don't put self-rising flour. But that's all mixed up in here along with my eggshells. I got this all mixed together. And I'll feed these in here in just a moment. And right here is my little blender. This is my eggshells that I got to blend up my eggshells. I've also got, and I'd like to know what your opinion is on this. The other day, my wife fixed some slaw, and in fixing the slaw, she got down to the core of the slaw, and I put this in the freezer. Took it out earlier today. I put this in the freezer, and what I want to know is, I'd like for your comments on this. What I want to know is, would it be okay to take this slaw and mix it up right here, cameraman, in the blender? I don't want to mix it up for it to become water, but there it is. There it is. And here's what I had my worms in the last time. And I had one about 3/4 this size the first time around. But there we go. So here we go. It's time to feed our worms. Now I'm going to have to back this up a little bit, pull this back a little bit, make a little space in here. I'm going to have to pull some more bedding over this way. And I'm going to start with my 1/4 cantaloupe. And then I'm going to give them just a little bit of worm food with this, mainly because of the eggs that I got ground up in here, but for food as well also. Again, we got about 1,000 to 1,200 worms, something like that. And like I said, I already had about 1,000 or 1,200, so this is going to double our worm population, and I'm quite excited about it. I never thought that I'd get excited about raising worms, but here we are. We're raising worms. So I'll take some of my paper that I grabbed up here and pull over here. Kind of cover this up a little bit. Put a little more from over here. Cover it up as best I can. So folks, I'm going to check on this, make sure that cantaloupe is okay. And with a 1/4 cantaloupe, I don't know. Who knows in 3 or 4 days, I don't know. But we'll have to find out. But anyway, we'll be back next time around, or the next round. In fact, I'll be back Friday with my other worm bin, because I plan to, today's Wednesday, by the way, and this is June the 14th, 2023. Wiley Worm Farms. By the way, if you enjoy stuff like this, if you'd hit that like button and that subscribe button, we'd appreciate it. I've really been impressed with how many people have hit that like button and that subscribe button already. I've only been in business, well, since January of this year. So God bless you. I trust you have a good day, and I will see you in the very near future. Again, Larry, Wiley Worm Farm. And by the way, I got a link there that's Wiley Worm Farm, singular, WileyWormFarm.com. Check my other videos out as well. Until next time, see you then. God bless you.